There are a lot of attacks, many attacks, in which one of the attack is MAC flooding attack. To stop that attack, you need port security. See, straight away I came to the main story because of the time, less time. Port security is the mitigation. What is mitigation? Avoidance technique. Avoiding what? MAC flooding attack. To avoid MAC flooding, you need what? Port security. MAC flooding attack. What is MAC flooding attack? You see, everyone has got only two hands. Some are less privileged. Some have got one hand. I have seen that. Father have got one hand. Son also have got one hand. That's their gene. That's their. Only that much God has given them. Fine. What I'm saying here is, everyone has got a limitation. Even if it is gold, you cannot carry 1 ton of gold with your hand. It will be too much for you. It will kill you. If you try to grab 1 ton of gold with your hand, you'll say, sorry, I don't want gold. I'll be bigger. I'll be beggar rather than dying with the gold. This will kill me. The heaviness will kill me. I don't want gold. Thank you. Keep it. I'll go empty-handed. I want my hand. We will not take that gold because it is 1 ton. MAC flooding is giving 1 ton of gold to you and you have bare hands. What will happen? Finish. You will lose your hand. If someone throws 1 ton of gold from the top on your hand, finish. Exactly the same thing happens to the switch. When someone floods with different MAC addresses to the switch in a very short period, switch starts learning all that maximum MAC address that it can, and after some time it couldn't accommodate more MAC address and it is fully exhausted. The MAC table is fully occupied. There is no inch to add another MAC address. The MAC table is full. Because someone used some tools to do this attack. A small software can do this attack. All that it needs to do is, it needs to send thousands and thousands and thousands of packets with new MAC address. It is possible. There are tools freely available in the internet. Just Google MAC flooding attack tool. You will get it. But don't use it. Sometimes they may fire you when you use it in your organization just for fun or just for testing. If you download and try doing anything, the existing network will know. They have already enabled this port security. You will be out of the network for at least 300 seconds. How many minutes? 5 minutes you cannot work. Not only that, depending on the configuration that they did in the port security, they may sometimes find you also. 5 minutes you will be out of the network. After 5 minutes you will rejoin. But this is default, okay? What if they have made 24 hours? Then 24 hours you cannot work, even though you are in office. Because you did this one mistake, switch will block you for 24 hours. By default it is 5 minutes. Sometime it won't unblock you until administrator logs in and unblock you. So be careful with this type of tools. Don't use it, though it is freely available. That's a very serious thing. So what I'm saying here is, MAC flooding tools will create multiple packets with different MAC address. You remember in the beginning we learned switches will listen to the incoming frame source address and it will start learning the MAC address. Now what happened? This is our existing network. Our switches are like this, and these are all genuine computers connected. All the employees are sitting here. They're all working, and here comes one employee. He wants to make a mess. What he does, he slowly double clicks the tool. That's all. This start bombarding thousands of packets with new MAC address, where the switch has got all complete buffer for this new MAC address, and there is no more buffer, there is no more space for new MAC address to be learned. The attacker's MAC address has totally consumed all the space that was given for MAC table. Now this poor genuine guy, Mr. Don, wants to talk to Miss Din. What will happen when new packet comes with the new MAC address? This poor switch cannot learn this Don's MAC address because there is no space. Not only that, it looks the MAC table for Din's MAC address. There is no Din MAC address, so it floods. When the destination is unknown, what switch will do? It will flood. It will flood to everyone. Usually, Din will see the packet and Din will respond. It will learn the MAC address, but this time it cannot learn MAC address. Neither Don's MAC address nor Din's MAC address it can learn, because the space is fully consumed by the attacker's spoofed MAC address. Spoofed MAC address means what? It's not original MAC address. Spoofed. Fully consumed. So what happened? Switches start behaving like a hub. Always flooding. This is what the attacker wants. He wants to make the switch to act like a hub so that it cannot handle too much of traffic, because always broadcast. Will do what? Collision. There is no collision controller. Earlier we used to learn MAC address and we used to send exactly to the destination port so that the collision was controlled. Now there is no collision controller because you are not learning MAC address anymore. It is flooding, always flooding, and full collision everywhere. And in few seconds, everyone will complain saying the network is very slow. After some time, they will complain the network is totally off. The network is totally jammed. This is what this funny guy wants to see. He wants everyone to stop working. Now, you are the senior engineer coming here. What happened? I'm very sad. I thought today will be a good day for me. What is this happening today? Who has done this? So he is trying to log in. Even he cannot log in, because the processor is too busy. There is no space and no bandwidth, nothing. The motherboard is fully occupied. He tries to telnet, not able to telnet. And then he got very angry. See the red eyes. He got very angry. And he goes to the monitoring machine. He wants to see what has happened to the switch. And he finds that this particular port was sending too many packets with new MAC address. In the monitoring tool, he can see this. Now he comes straight to this guy. What are you doing? He want to ask, what are you doing? But funny guy is not sitting there. He started the tool and he went away, thinking that no one can find him. So this angry man, he came and he unplugged this computer. In few seconds, everyone were able to communicate happily like before. Why? The MAC table will expire after some time, depending on what is configured. By default, it is 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, only it will expire. If no one is communicating with the same MAC address for 30 minutes. But whatever. He unplugged this cable and restarted the switch so that immediately everyone can start using it. This could have been avoided in first place. By enabling port security, you can avoid this. So how port security can avoid this? Port security is setting limit to the port. Limit for what? Number of MAC address. Port security, if it is enabled, only one MAC address on one port it can come. But for some reason, if you have multiple VMs here, if you have 5 VMs and one physical device, so totally 6 MAC addresses will come. Port security allows you to set the number of MAC address. So by setting MAC address, number of MAC address, you are limiting so that if someone uses this attacking tool, he cannot send thousands of MAC address now. The maximum he can send is only the limit that you have set. If you have set 6, only 6. If you don't say anything, if you simply enable port security, only one MAC address will be allowed. Only one MAC address will be allowed. If you say 6, only 6 MAC address will be allowed. What if more than 6 comes? When more than 6 comes, there are 3 options. The default option is shut down him. It will shut down the port. When the 7th MAC, say for example you set 6. When the 7th MAC address comes, the port will go down automatically. And it will never come up unless administrator logs in and say no shutdown. But sometime mistakenly, most of the time, some people are doing, they're good people, but they are unknowingly doing something, so it becomes 7 MAC address. In such case, what you can do is, you can say, when the violation happens, what is violation? Only 6 is allowed, 7 MAC address is coming. Fine. You can tell switches, when violation happens, you are shutting down. I am very happy for that. But just try bringing it up after 300 seconds. If still you find 7 MAC address, again you shut down. But in case if you see less than 7, less than means 6 or less than 6, you just keep the interface up. Forgive him. One time he made mistake. Just keep the port up. Why the administrator wants to do this? Because he do not want to every time come in and log in and unshut. He want to reduce his work. He want to automate. So what he does is, he sets error disable recovery for port security. He configured something called error disable recovery. Because of port security, when the port goes to error disable state, what is error disable state? What is error disable state? Violating the rule is what? Error disable state. He was allowed to send only 6 MAC address, but he is sending 7 MAC address. So the port is configured to shut down. That is what error disable state, when the violation happens. But when it goes to error disable state, you are saying bring it up after 300 seconds. You can also optionally say bring it up after 1 minute, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. Options are available, but by default when you enable error disable recovery, it is for 5 minutes, 300 seconds. It will come up and see whether it is under the limit. If not, again it will go shut down. So by doing like this, by enabling port security, one person cannot go and consume the entire MAC table. Not possible. Because you have set a limit. You have set limit. One person cannot consume the complete MAC table. Not possible at all. So we are protected from MAC flooding attack. Port security protects you from MAC flooding attack. Now, there are 3 different violation actions like shutdown, protect, and restrict. We will see in the next class. There is also something called MAC address sticky and so on. We'll do some nice lab and we'll see more detail about port security in our next class. So in this class we learned the introduction to port security. What is port security? Port security is a mitigation technique that avoids MAC flooding attack. How it avoids? By setting the MAC address limit for each port. Any question?
No, sir. No, sir, nothing.
Yeah. All right then. See you tomorrow.